Nemesis Prime. I love Nemesis Prime. He is so cool. The idea of the character is, in and of itself, amazing. Like an evil, dark, sinister, like, twisted clone of Optimus Prime that, like, has all of his physical and sometimes, like, mental capability, but is the complete antithesis and is actual evil incarnate. I love it. I feel like Nemesis Prime himself as a character could be the main antagonist of a Transformers series or movie. Yeah, he was in a movie, wasn't he? We'll talk about that. But yeah, Nemesis Prime's awesome. He's kind of one of those characters that isn't represented in media too much, so you can have like this abstract idea of what you want him to be. And I love that. Out of all these Nemesis Primes, the only one here that really kind of represents anything from actual like media is the Prime one. But even then, it's not an official toy. It's not really exactly accurate to his appearance. All the others, it's kind of like, yeah, Nemesis was kind of like that. Let's repaint the Bumblebee one. Let's repaint the Masterpiece. Let's make attack mode. Let's IDW. You know, that's how they've done these. And honestly, they're really cool. So I think my first Nemesis Prime was this one. This is the Bot Shot. I know there was a video where I called them bots all the time. But no, this is Bot Shots. I miss this line so much because they're so cute and small. And they're just adorable. And they're just so springy and fun. Like, look at this guy. He's so cute. And then he just, choop, Nemesis Prime. Nemesis Prime, and then he goes, poo, and then he flips up. These are just so cute toys. You can flip this around if you'd prefer to have the blue there, or if you'd rather, I mean, they're for a game, right? Me personally, I always kind of use it just off the color. Yeah, these are really cool. There was like Transformers attempts at Bakugan, and I kind of miss these. Now they're kind of trying to attempt to replicate, what was it? Not Shopkins. Maybe Shopkins, like, I think they're Shopkins, right? Yeah, they're trying to replicate Shopkins, basically. But this was kind of like a Bakugan sort of thing. These kind of came out when Bakugan was, funny enough, near kind of the end of its height of popularity. But yeah, there's that. And then another Nemesis Prime that's trying to replicate something that it's not is the Creo. Creo, if you don't know, was basically Hasbro's attempt at Lego. And they made a Nemesis Prime. In one of the blind bag series, which is really cool. I think he's really nice looking. Very basic print, but still he's cool. And you remove the helmet, and you can see he's angry. They probably just reused a Decepticon head, let's be honest. They probably didn't give him his own face. But yeah, I mean, he could actually transform. He came with all the parts to make like a weird truck. Not very convincing, but he came with the parts. You could have done it, but those parts are in a drawer somewhere. I didn't keep them. And he's got a Creo block. I don't know if he came with that, but I always display him on it because he's one of my favorite Creons, so he's worthy of the block. Yeah, that's a cute little one. I like that. And then I think the next Nemesis Prime I got was this one. This is the Generations Legends class Nemesis Prime, based off that IDW Commander class, Legends class sort of Optimus Prime. And this is a cool one. I like it. I like how they incorporated like that teal color a little bit more, especially into the faceplate. I think that actually looks really cool. Not a lot of Nemesis Primes do that, but this one's nice. Except instead of black, it's almost like he's, I don't want to call it brown, but it's not like a black. I don't know what color to call him, but he's definitely not pitch black. But still, he's a cool one. His transformation's really easy. Unfortunately, they never really made a way for the chest to just lock in at a certain point. You know, it always shifts. That's just how they made it. It's not a biggie. It's supposed to be like that. You could have it more G1 like that, but it's supposed to be like that where you see the Autobot symbol. Even though here it's a Decepticon symbol, because Nemesis Prime's a Decepticon. But yeah, this thing's really neat. It's so cute. I love it. I love Nemesis Prime. And then the next Nemesis Prime I got, awesomely, was one of the coolest. This one. This is this is not a knockoff, by the way. This is the legit, real deal. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Transformers Classics Nemesis Prime. Look at the light piping. Look at the colors. Oh my gosh. I love him. I found them for like, I want to say maybe 25, 30 bucks at a game store nearby that's now closed, unfortunately. Yeah. And when I saw them sitting on the shelf, this was years ago. I want to say either 2012 or 2013. I want to say 2013. I want to say either 13 or 14. Around that time. So I've had this guy for about at least 6 years. Yeah, I was stoked. And 6 years ago, I was, how old? Let's see, I'm 21 now, so I was like maybe 15, 14, 15. Didn't really have my own money then. Hadn't had my first job yet. So I remember I had to go through the mall, find my mom at Sears and say, hey, Mom, I don't carry the money on me. I need the money to buy this thing right now. It was a good memory. It was a good memory. I kind of like memories like that. And I love this figure. I love it so much. Honestly, even if they do make, like, the Siege Nemesis Prime, not interested because he's gray. They made him gray. He's supposed to be black, man. He's supposed to be black. You ruined it. So I'm not getting that the Siege one. I'm not getting that. I didn't get the Power of the Primes one because I didn't like the new head sculpt. I like when a Nemesis Prime shares the head sculpt because it's like he's sharing the identity. With a different head sculpt, it's not Nemesis Prime anymore. It's like Scourge or something. It just doesn't feel the same to me. It needs to be a straight repaint in my eyes. That's how it needs to be. And I love the Classics mold. It's not one of the best, but to this day, man, I still think the Classics Optimus Prime is one of the best. It's funny, I said it's not the best, but it's one of the best. Let me rephrase that. It's not one of the best, but the Classics Optimus Prime is still one of my favorites. There we go. That's what I should have said instead of contradicting myself immediately. It's just so nice and chunky. It feels like a Transformers Cybertron toy because it basically is and came out around the same time. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, Classics, man. That's one of my favorites here. And then the next one I got was this one. This is the Flame Toys Nemesis Prime Attack Mode Model Kit. And funny enough, I actually do not have the Optimus Prime that goes with this. I just have the Nemesis. And this kit's pretty neat. I did do some detailing to it. I did some silver here and there. Silver for the smokestacks, silver for details on the chest right there. Silver for the face, silver for that up there. Silver for the wheels. Silver for the gas tanks and the legs, and a little bit of silver there. It really needed the detailing because otherwise it was looking pretty bland. But it's still a cool figure. Definitely kind of awkward. Like this isn't a Gundam model. This is a Furai model. It's different. It definitely feels different. It was a different build experience. The polycaps, in my opinion, don't seem to be as secure. I think this guy actually does have a polycap issue. Yeah, with this leg. Yeah, that's what it was. Sometimes polycaps split, and you can see right there, that polycap splitting. I mean, it will still always hold on. It will still always move. But because it's splitting, there's not as much friction in there now. So it might not want to hold up anymore, which is great. I could thicken it up. I could thicken up the peg, but I can never fix that split. You know, that's always going to be a problem. But oh well, it's fine. I can live with it. It's not like he's fully broken yet. But yeah, he's a cool figure. I like the sculpt, especially with the head. If you get it detailed up nice, like I did, like the black around the eyes, I put that in. Like, if you get it detailed up nice, it looks really great. And I don't think that's dust. Is that dust on his chest? No, I forgot. He's got like a sparkly look to his plastic, which is really cool. I might get some more Furai models. I have this one. I have the IDW Optimus, and I have the Thundercracker. I want to get the G1 Optimus, at least that. Might get the Megatron. Bumblebee was overpriced for some ungodly reason. But yeah, I really like that one. And then his weapon's really cool, too. He's got that big old axe. That's really sweet. Yeah, he's a cool one, man. And look at that spine, too. It's so cool. He's a cool one. I do like him. I'm probably not going to get the normal attack mode Prime. But I figured, hey, he kind of makes for just a cool, It's nice to have a Nemesis Prime that's just, I only have it as Nemesis, not as Optimus. I can live with that. And that brings me to the next one, which, unfortunately, I can't show you in its entirety because the batteries died. This is, well, they call him Shadow Spark Optimus Prime. But this is basically the only official United States toy we got representing Nemesis Prime from Transformers The Last Night. because they made him look evil and dark, and he betrayed the Autobots, and he was like, I am Nemesis Prime. They ruined it, man. They ruined it. Quintessa, like, they brainwashed Optimus? That's so stupid. They should have had Quintessa make a clone of Optimus. And then at the end, you see Optimus versus Nemesis. That would have been so cool. And Optimus was, like, captured the whole time, but when the Autobots actually go to the thing in the finale, they actually are able to save him. And then he's like, okay, let's do it. And then he makes his cool speech, and then he fights Nemesis. That would have been such a cooler movie. But no, they just brainwashed him. And then just Bumblebee talking brings him back. Cool. God, what an awful, awful movie. But yeah, this toy exists. The batteries died because he has the Allspark power. You can take out the Allspark, which has been gone for 4 movies by now. And it charges with a USB. Yeah. So you charge it up, you put it in, it like pulses and lights up, and like he responds to like bashing him and all that. He doesn't even have a button. It's like move him around and like bash him and all that. One phrase he says is very cool. Yeah, he seriously says very cool. But you may be wondering, why do you have this toy? Well, number one, I got it really cheap, like $10. But number two, he's so cute. Look at that cute little Optimus Prime head. Look at that. I'm sorry, I'm just a sucker for like cutesy sort of versions. He's kind of cute looking, man. He's cute. I like it. He's cute. And he's actually really solid, chunky toy. Articulation's not bad. He's got a ball joint at the head. You know, he's got some ball joints here and there. He's got some leg motion. He's neat, man. He's a neat toy. But he's definitely lowest on the totem pole when it comes to pretty much all of these. Especially when it comes to representation. So then next up, the next Nemesis Prime I got was the one in the middle. This is when we finally get to the knockoffs. Because this is not a real product. This is, I want to say, Aoi Mech. Their take on the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. But this is Nemesis Prime, obviously. And this thing's great. I think this thing cost me like $13 off eBay. Just $13. And he's got die cast. His chest is die cast. His joints work perfectly. One of the only QC issues is that these panels don't want to tab in. That's like the only QC issue with the whole toy. All the rest, he holds together great. He poses great. Quality of the plastic is honestly maybe even better than the official thing. And the paint's immaculate. He's got the beautiful teal. He's got the red. Like, they knew this is Nemesis Prime. We got to do it justice. And look at that head sculpt. I mean, this is already a gorgeous toy. And they just made it look... It's just so evil and so great. The reason I got this is because it was just so cheap. And if you didn't watch my top 10 Optimus Prime figure list, the Bumblebee movie Optimus is one of my absolute favorites. So yeah, I wanted it as Nemesis Prime. And I love it. I mean, just look at that. Look at the back and everything. It's just one of the greatest Optimus Primes. If they make an MPM, I will have to buy it. I'm surprised they haven't yet. I'm surprised they haven't made a movie masterpiece. And then next up, I believe this is APC Toys. Their take on Nemesis Prime. Well, just kind of like a black Optimus, I guess. But see, the thing is, Transformers Prime Nemesis, he was not black. He was really like muted red and blue, almost black. That's how he looked in Transformers Prime. But it was enough of a contrast where you could tell Optimus versus Nemesis. But it was enough of a similarity where the military was like, hi, Optimus, and he's like, you're all dead, you know. So it was fun. But this is kind of just a generic Nemesis Prime deco, except instead of teal, we're kind of looking more at a green here. It's kind of more of a sea green color, which I don't mind because it kind of matches the color of Mech, like Silas and his guys. So it's kind of like just an abstract idea of Transformers Prime, Nemesis Prime. This works great. It's not perfect. If they end up recoloring this in like the muted colors and the show accurate Nemesis Prime, I will buy that. But I'm still going to hold on to this because this is an awesome figure. APC Toys knocked it out of the they knocked it out of the park with the quality. Articulation's great. It's great. These pieces actually hold in better than on the official one. They don't just come out super easily. They actually hold in. I do actually have him with the normal Prime's gun, because he actually came with 2 bright silver guns, and I wanted him with a darker gunmetal. And I also wanted my Optimus with 2 guns. I've wanted him with 2 for so long, and I'm finally able to do it, because he came with 2. But yeah, this thing's just great. Like, look at the colors, man. Like, just look at it. And the first edition Prime is, if you didn't watch, one of my favorite Optimus Prime figures. I did make his eyes yellow, because that's one thing that's very noteworthy in the show, is that his eyes are yellow. So I decided to go in and make his eyes yellow, because I felt like that just made him look cooler. And I think it does. I think it just kind of brings it all home that he's not natural. He's, you know, kind of man-made. And then I gotta get the camera up. I saved the best for last. You've probably been staring at him back there. This thing just came out. This is a 2020 release of the Legendary Toys LT02B Black Optimus Prime, aka Nemesis Prime. And this thing is, if you didn't watch my top 10 Optimus Primes, if you didn't watch my top 10 Transformers toys, this is essentially my favorite Transformers figure, the LT02 Optimus Prime. But now it's Nemesis Prime. I could not say no to this. This thing cost me under 80 bucks. This gorgeous thing with die cast, with paint coating the entire figure, fully posable, fully transformable, basically no real QC issues, only cost me 80 bucks. Some of the only issues I have with it, this ankle's really stiff and this one's kind of loose. That's such a minor issue, I don't even care. Look at him, he's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, I don't know if my camera's doing him justice because he's so black and so shiny. He's just so shiny. Like, look at the teal. Oh my gosh, it is kind of more on the green side on this one again, instead of like the blue or teal side like the Bumblebee movie version. But look at that. Look at the back. Look at that paint. It's all paint, baby. Look at that. Look at the gold. I mean, this figure is just gorgeous. The gold, and then you can see the gold pistons in the arms there. Then the doors, and he does have the Matrix inside. And he does have the beautiful head sculpt, which you can flip and have the normal Optimus face, but why would you do that? And PSA to people who own versions of MPM Optimus, please, for the love of God, stop pushing the face in all the way. It looks horrible. It's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to leave it out. Please, PSA, don't push it in all the way, please. I hate seeing people that have it pushed in. It looks so bad. It's such a gorgeous, borderline perfect figure, and you push in the face. Ah! Now, granted, there is the oversized Black Mamba version that does perfect this thing even more. Makes the arms more accurate, makes these more accurate. That's basically the main things it does. And also the wheels can transform. But it's larger. They had more space and more stuff to work with. At the MPM, at the leader class sort of size, this is great. This is still, to this day, like, I think I still prefer the Optimus Prime. Like, if I could only choose one to keep, I would still keep the Optimus Prime, not this Nemesis Prime. But it's going down as essentially my favorite Transformers figure. And there we go. It's my Nemesis Prime collection. I love me some Nemesis Prime. I don't have all of them, obviously. There's so many more that, especially Takara Tomy, there's so many more that Takara made. I don't think I'm missing any. I think it's all I've got in my collection. Yeah, I'm not missing any. That's all I've got. Really cool, though. I love me some Nemesis. I love me some Black Convoy. He's cool. I love me some knockoff. Knockoff Black Optimus Primes. Because, I mean, 3 of these are knockoffs, you know? And, hey, I'm fine with that. See, my weird philosophy on knockoffs is that they're improved versions of pre-existing Hasbro Takara toys. Third party, they're just, you know, they might as well just be, you know, someone, like, a fan creation that they're selling. I collect Transformers. I don't collect fan creations that are for sale. I'm sorry. I cut it off at third party. But KOs that improve on pre-existing toys, I can, even though, like, KOs are, it's weird, okay? I'm not trying to be, like, on the moral high ground in that debate. Because it's weird. I know how I work is weird, and there's not really a logical explanation how I feel that way. But I'm okay with KOs in my collection, but I don't do third party. I know there's a lot of cool third party Nemesis Primes out there too, but I just don't do them. There we go, guys. That's my collection. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video, and let me know what Nemesis Primes you've got.